Listen to Dean Preston,
yes,
a San Francisco supervisor who says he knows why there's so many homeless. Listen.
I think what you're seeing in the Tenderloin is absolutely the result of capitalism and what happens in capitalism to the people at the bottom rung.
Is this capitalism? Is that why these people missed a rent payment, or is it something else?
Of course. I mean, you can no longer look. The curtain has been pulled aside on that nonsense. That is absolutely categorically ridiculous. And the problem that I see in statements like that is you are sacrificing people to make that point. In the county of Los Angeles alone, 7 people die every day on the streets, and they're dying of exposure, they're dying of mental illness, and they're dying of drug addiction. Look, these are people that I know how to treat. We could easily bring these people back. Now, we know now this curtain has been pulled back too, that you could easily clean the streets up. I tell you, I know exactly how to structure programs to bring these people back to sobriety, to get their brain working again so they can return to a flourishing or at least a productive life of some type. The fact that we allow this to go unchecked, no countries on earth, very few states allow this for one thing, but certainly very few countries on earth allow sick people. These are open air hospitals without doctors or nurses. Now, I've given lectures to large groups of county supervisors, and I said this, that you've sent social workers out to run hospitals. They're wonderful. They're useful. They're not trained to diagnose and treat severe medical and psychiatric illness. It's a hospital without doctors and nurses. Are you surprised people are dying? They should be ashamed of themselves for anything other than creating the resources necessary to help these people.
But these are the people in charge. They think it's because of capitalism. They couldn't get the job they wanted, so they sleep on the streets. And lastly, real quick, these college kids are taking over more events and more campuses, complaining that Hamas and the Palestinian cause is being overwhelmed by the pro-Israeli movement. They say they got to stop and demand a ceasefire. They're protesting outside Jerry Seinfeld's comedy shows. But yet when you ask people what river to the sea means, when you ask them what the Palestinian cause was, or to locate Palestine or Israel on the map, they can't. How do you explain these college-age kids who are running to the cause of Hamas and the Palestinians?
So I'm fine with people wanting to support the causes they feel strongly about, but when they are just merely being swept into a mob because it feels good, they don't know what they're supporting, they don't know what river to the sea means, they can't identify these places on a map. That's a problem. And I'll tell you what, if they were at my institution and I was responsible for their education, I would bring the faculty and say, hey, something is wrong. Something is terribly wrong with how we're educating these kids. And I think that's the really issue. They're not being taught to think and to really look into things. They're used to mob action. And they don't, because they've not studied history, they don't understand the danger of mobs.
Exactly. October 6th, they would not even have brought it up. All of a sudden, on the 8th, it's a problem. 47% of the students were unable to name the river and the sea. They were chanting. 25% knew who Yasser Arafat was. Unbelievable. Dr. Drew, always educational to be with you and insightful. Thanks so much.